The Yakuza series has been an insanely popular series over in Japan for well over a decade now, but it's only more in recent years that some of the games have made its way to the West due to sort of it being time, but a lot of fan outcry from wanting these games to come over. And finally, and I literally mean this finally, Yakuza has made its way to PC in the form of Yakuza 0. This budget priced game alone is worth the money. I think it's 15 or 20 euro, and honestly right away it's worth like if you're even half interested in this game and you want to play it on PC, I'd tell you just to stop watching this video right away and go play the game. I really don't mind. But for those of you who want to know a little bit more about the game, Yakuza 0, or at least the Yakuza series, is kind of like the pseudo sequel follow-on in its style to the Shenmue games, but with a much more attitude and combat and gameplay, I guess. So you play as Kiryu. Yakuza 0 takes place before, obviously, the first Yakuza game. So there was a few Yakuza games, and then it went back to 0. And you play as Kiryu, and sort of it's an origin story. It's a lot about it is actually about like building up your real estate in the game. And there's a lot of, like, I think that's the one thing I'll probably touch on most in this video is the side activities. And I'll get into the side activities in a minute. I just thought I'd mention it. But the gameplay and the main campaign storyline is relatively huge. This is more like a JRPG than you might be expecting. There's a ton of quests to do. You level up. There's a huge story to it. And the story really goes places and changes and twists and turns. There's a lot of betrayals and double betrayals and triple betrayals, and it probably goes more than that, to be completely honest. But there's a really substantial story here, and for the most part it's Japanese voiced, but the localization in English does a really great job, I guess, of capturing that personality of the Yakuza series and Yakuza, and sort of it being its own thing, and the references kind of keep it relatively relatable to the Western audience as well. So things have been changed in a sense, but the story, like I said, it's quite a substantial length. So expect this to be more like a JRPG or an RPG than you might think of sort of an action brawler game, because when you play the game, it very much feels like an action brawler. You're in combat every 10, I was going to say 10, it's more like 20 to 30 seconds. And combat is fast and fluid. You eventually unlock 4 different styles, which goes from sort of being really fast and agile with dodges to just this beast, I think it's called, where you pick up bikes and things that are there on the road and just smash them over people's heads. And the gameplay itself, it's quite physical. They do a great job of really nailing down how physical and violent the game is. And I think the combat itself is it's pretty responsive. It's really fun, even though you get into combat so often. To me, it never really tired, because the actual combat sequence really only takes a couple dozen seconds, and then you're off into the world again. And honestly, I think what really stands out of this game is just how incredible they've created Japan. And I believe it's in the late 80s. It just feels so good just to walk around with the lights, with the atmosphere. Like just walking around, having headphones on, you can hear all the people talking, the music coming out from certain buildings. It feels alive, and I think they do a great job. The map itself isn't that big at all. You might be a bit disappointed by how small it actually is, but it's so densely packed with things to do, with objects, with people, with just overall life and vibrancy. But what really makes this game so weird and different is the side activities. Like, honestly, just so much to it. You can be going to an arcade and you play the Sega classic game Space Harrier. You can be going over to the UFO claw machine, picking up collectibles that you can do over time. You can race little miniature cars and upgrade them as you go. You can go do karaoke. You can play pool. You can play darts. You can what else can you can go bowling. I think you can do baseball in this one. You can watch erotic videos if you're into that thing, I guess. I like, it does a great job of just unabashedly being Japanese and celebrating it. And I just loved walking around this world. I love taking in the visuals, the absolute essence that it is. And on top of that, then, beyond it being an incredible place to explore, the gameplay, no gunplay, The gameplay, the hand-to-hand melee combat is so much fun. The personality, just, you're not gonna, like, honestly, you're not gonna get a game like Yakuza 0 in terms of or Yakuza, the whole series, in terms of personality. And here I think it's particularly evident that they really leaned into it, because this takes place like a little bit down the series in terms of it being developed, and I think they really started to sort of hone in and realize what they had here. It's a ton of fun to play, and for PC, it's on PC, it looks incredible. It's beautiful. Like, it's, you wouldn't think this is a game that's a few years old. I think the light and the color is done so well. It looks so stunning. And then also for it being like first time they've made a game on PC, it's optimized incredibly well, and I had no problem with it running max settings at 1080p, I think all the way up to 4K. Had no problem whatsoever with a 3-year-old GPU. So it's a stunning game. It's so much fun. Stands out. You'll remember it. You remember the characters. And it's just one of the most enjoyable games. And it's at a steal. I believe it is only like 15 or 20 euro. It's 100% worth its price. It's just so good.